Hey there, it is time for yet another one of Joanne's videos on integers. I've not done these before because I couldn't find a really good way, honestly, to explain subtracting integers. I mean, I know how to do it, but it was never pretty. So this is my guinea pig year. We're going to try this out. I have a new plan. It's way simpler than what I used to do, and I'm thinking it's going to go well. So there was a video, and I just wanted to go through it a little bit more so that I want to make sure it works for me and that it works for you too. All right, so subtracting videos, integers. Oop. All right, first thing I want to do, I think you guys have seen this before. This is my integers sheet, and I'm throwing all the rules in one spot. And then when it comes test time, you've got it, right? It's all in one spot rather than having to flip through your notes and find the right things and all and all of that. Okay, so I realized I have not got the subtraction section done on here, and I have my notes from the other video. So I think I'll be able to put something together that's pretty short and sweet and to the point. All right, so and subtracting, I used to always teach it as the opposite of adding, and it just really always confused people. So it's still the inverse of adding, and that'll become important later on. But like I said, I've changed the plan and it seems to work. So there's actually a couple of steps on this. So the first thing you want to do is apparently I can't write and speak at the same time. You want to get rid of any double signs. And we have to know the multiplication rules to do this. Now, and that's why I find it's important on these formula sheets to put in some examples so it makes sense. If you have something that looks like this, okay, or maybe it's 2 minus 7, or 6. Well, that's probably never going to show up, but might. What else? We're going to squish it. Minus 2 plus minus 4. I think that's kind of all my options. Oh, no, I'm going to throw one over here too. 7 minus plus 2. I think that covers off everything. Occasionally, you'll get questions that they don't even have the brackets in there, and it would just be read as, it would just look like 7 minus plus 2. It's kind of weird, but anyway, so my plan, highlighter, is this messes people up. This is what I'm talking about with double signs. And we want to get rid of them before we do the rest of the question. And we're just going to rewrite. So this becomes 7. And then a negative times a positive, because brackets mean multiplication. See, this is how we're avoiding subtraction. A negative times a positive is a negative. And then we bring the 2 down. So this and this make that. And that's because we know that when you have a negative times a positive, it's not a pair of signs. It's not the same. So it's a negative. It simplifies down. That's what I'm trying to say. And now we have a positive and a negative. Okay. Now, 2 negatives, when you have the same sign, a pair of them, then it flips to a positive. So this becomes 2 plus 7. I don't have to keep drawing that, but it's making me happy today. And a positive times a positive. Oops, I can just do this. It's a positive. So 6 plus 4. And then we have a positive times a negative, which is going to be a minus. So -2. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there should only be one sign in between any two numbers. And I could, if I wanted, like, whatever's out front, doesn't matter. You just bring it down. So if, I don't know, if this one, whoopsies, if that one's a negative, this one comes down. So get rid of double signs. And I suspect at that point, you're going to be able to do half your questions, right? You know what 7 minus 2 is, that's 5. 2 plus 7, that's 9. Oh, this one went to a plus, so you know the rule for that. Subtract and take the sign of the bigger. It's only going to be occasional ones that are going to cause you grief. I don't want to write in the second step. Solve if you can. All right. So 2, actually, you know what? That is going to be second step. I'm sorry, you guys are guinea pigs. This is what happens. Changing the rules on the fly. So 7 minus 2 is 5. We're done. 2 and 7, 9. We're done. -6 and +4. Well, that's just an addition question. And dun, 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 I got my card that says if the signs are different, I'm going to subtract. So that's going to give me 2. Take the sign of the bigger one. So it looks like there's only a couple left that I can't do yet. So 3, circle the terms. This is the new stuff I learned. And follow rules. For addition. So what I mean, so if I've got -5, -4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of this as one term, and this is a separate term. So a term in math is a number or variable plus its sign. So, So -5 is a term, -4 is a term, and then I'm just going to follow the rules for addition. And my signs are the same here, so that's going to give me -9. Done. And which was the other one? Oh, this one. You know what? Bear with me. I'm going to change my question because I can do that. I just want to see what happens if the question is slightly different. So +2 -4. So here's one term. Here's the other term. So my signs are different. I'm going to subtract. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And take the sign of the bigger one. I think this is beautiful. Okay, so get rid of double signs if you have any. Solve. It looks like half. Should be just straightforward addition or subtraction like that you've done like all your life. And then if that doesn't work, then you're going to circle your terms and then you just add those two terms. So technically it's called subtraction, but I kind of avoid it. All right, there we go. So also, I'm going to take a moment before we do the questions. Sorry, stuff around here. Integers. Oh, you probably can't see that. I like my index cards. Subtraction. So 1. I shouldn't say get rid of, it's actually simplify double signs, but solve if possible. And then 3. Circle terms. And use addition rules. There. All right. Now we're ready to go. Oh, so this, let me find page 1. I've made a mess on my desk here. So this is from the practice worksheet. Oops, page 1. Of course, I can't find page 1. Here. Ah, there it is. This is this page. Okay. There's a whole lot of practice here. If you want more, I can generate more. Lovely works, lovely software package that I have. Anyway, let's do it. You know what? And I'm almost thinking right now, there's going to be some that you can just solve right away. It looks like these questions are actually a mix of addition and subtraction and all sorts of things. So 16 minus 7, we can do that. That should be 9. Okay. If I just realized I just broke all my rules, but technically there's no double sign, so I would circle my terms. And then I'd go, oh, look, they have different signs, so I should subtract and take the sign of the bigger, which is exactly what we just did. All right, so 7 plus 10. I don't know how I managed to start out with all these super easy questions. All right, 17, done. Now we're cooking. All right, double sign, a negative and a negative. This is going to be like 12. 2 negatives make a positive. 6. 18. All right, next one. Negative 15, subtract 1. There's no double signs. Not 100. I'm going to say, I don't know how to solve that. So then I'm going to think of it in terms of here's a term. And here's a term. So we've got 2 terms. We're going to add them together. They're both negatives. So that's more negatives, right? 15 blue chips. 1 more blue chip is going to give me 16 blue chips. All right, negative 15 minus 15. See, my brain, because I've done this long enough, thinks of it as minus 15, take away 15 more, you're getting more and more negative. But let's follow the rules. No double sign. I don't know how to do it. So here's one term. Here's a second term. And that's going to give me the signs are the same. So I'm going to add them together. 15 and 15 is 30. And make it negative. Oh, that's just like 21. Right, 2 positives. Oh, double sign. 1 plus negative 1. So a positive and a negative give me a, whoopsies, no they don't. Gives me a negative. So this is 1 minus 1 is 0. It looks like I changed the setting on my software package, so it wasn't throwing the brackets around the negatives. I just personally think that looks weird. It just looks it's just weird. I prefer them with the brackets like that, then I can see better what's going on. But I can still do the question. So it's 8. And a positive times a negative makes a negative minus 10. All right. Then I'm going to circle my terms. This is a plus. This is a minus. So I'm going to subtract and get 2. Take the sign of the bigger one. That one you might have been able to solve without doing the circly bit. Right? Because if you have $8 and you spend 10, you know you're too short. 14. 9 minus 10. I don't know. Can you do that one? You might be able to do that. Just think it through. Right? You're starting at 9 and you take away 10, you're going to be 1 short. You're going to be kind of spending more money than you have. Or there's my positive. There's my negative term. Different sign. So I'm going to subtract and get 1. And it's a negative. All right. What I would like you to do, pause the video. For real, pause the video and do the other side. All right. It's no double signs, so I don't know what to do with that. So I'm just going to circle my terms. There's 1. Here's the other one. Those are both negative, so I'm going to add. That should be 31. And keep it negative. Oh, this one's the same pattern. Boop. Sorry, I booped. 2 negatives when I'm adding. Got to be careful. I'm adding them. I'm going to put them together. So that's going to give me 8. And it's going to be negative. And if your brain starts to get confused, this is 5 blue ones and 3 blue ones gives me 8 blue ones. That's 7. -6 plus -6. We know that from before. My signs are the same. I'm adding, so you got to pay attention all the time what's going on. So I'm going to add those together. That's going to give me 12. Take the sign of the bigger one. Oh, double negative here. So it's 13 plus 12, right? 2 negatives make a positive when you are multiplying. And that's what really this is, or that's how we're solving it. So that's going to give me plus 25. Oh goodness, we got a bunch of simple ones. 9, 12. Oh, more addition. Signs are different, so subtract. Sign of the bigger. Excuse me. Another addition there, so signs are different. Subtract. Sign of the bigger. And one more time. Subtract, it's going to be 1. Sign of the bigger. Whoops, sorry, disappeared on you. Okay, so that's my extra practice on subtraction, although those last ones got pretty easy. If you want more practice, just ask. I have no problem printing off some more with answers for you to practice. Or if it's still not, it's still, or rather still kind of, then we should sit down and work through this together. That's it for today. Have a spectacular afternoon or morning or whatever time of day you're watching this.